Hello there everyone, and welcome back to my next episode on the Realm of Vasten server. I am Mar, and in today's episode I want to showcase or show off or whatever a little bit of change I made here at the End Aquarium, or whatever we're going to call it. I did some more work off camera after we finished the last episode, and this is what I've got to show for it. It's not done yet. In fact, there's a few things left that I want to do with it, one of which is to try and get as many buckets of fish as I can, tropical fish preferably, but I'm sure I'll get some cod and salmon as well. Probably not any pufferfish. I think there's enough ways to die in the end without introducing pufferfish to the picture. But so far I've bone mealed a lot of it, pretty much everything, and that's why we've got all the grass down there. I also added in, if you can tell, it's kind of hard to see with all the greenery, but once you get down here it's a lot more obvious. I added in a whole lot of kelp. It's not everywhere yet. I'm actually still waiting for parts of it to grow. It's hard to tell. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between the kelp and the seagrass before it's grown. So I'm basically just farming a little bit of it and then planting it elsewhere, waiting for it to grow, farming a little bit more, planting it elsewhere, until I feel like we have a decent amount of kelp, pretty much everywhere that is deep enough for kelp to even grow. I believe this is the section I did last. I don't think there's any kelp whatsoever over here or over there. And of course, as you can see, I came through here with a whole lot of the coral, both the fan variety as well as the larger, like, almost bush variant. The last thing I'll have to do with the coral, also I have got a whole bunch of pickles in here somewhere. I did them in clusters of 4 for maximum lighting. Not that I'm worried, I mean, it's water and we're in the end, so nothing could spawn in here anyway. But I like the effect that it gives with the light levels. It's all lit up, you know. Basically, when you're elsewhere in and around the farm, it looks nicer, you know. You can see things more clearly. But the only other thing, coral-wise, that I really have left to do is add in coral blocks. And there's really only a couple places that are deep enough. One of which is right here, another of which is over here, and then there's like another section over there, and maybe a very small section over there that are deep enough to put in coral block structures. And I'll probably just kind of follow along with the general theme that the default vanilla stuff goes in, and it should be perfectly fine. And I probably will want to add, I kept a little bit of like this coral type stuff, off, I used almost 2 stacks of everything. So almost 2 stacks of the red fans, almost 2 stacks of the red bush thingies, and same with all the other colors. And then I was thinking I would add more of those and more sea pickles to the coral structures once they are added in. And as you can see, I do have my bubbles of air. They are slowly going down because, you know, we've got respiration 3 and whatnot. However, what I think would be really cool is if I could get my hands on, what is it called for the underwater, like, it's like a beacon effect, but it's the underwater breathing. What is that thing called? I know you need the heart of the sea to make it, and I can never remember what the thing is called, but I think it'd be really cool to add one of those. That way, if anybody did come here, you know, and they finished getting their wither roses, they turned off the farm, they could pop down here and have a swim around if they wanted to. And they wouldn't have to worry about drowning, which is what I almost did just then. So yeah, fish and more coral structures, a little bit more kelp, and the whatever it is that lets you breathe underwater. Now this guy, he's making all kinds of noise. You popped off another one of my trapdoors, I see. I knew he was going to pop off that one. I suspected he was going to pop off that one. Everything else should be safe, and the piston should keep the water from flowing this way. Now, over here, I'd wanted to try and get away from all the glass blocks. I feel like this is a lot more compact. I used acacia. I actually like the acacia trapdoor texture, and then I remembered that in this texture pack, all of the trapdoors look like basically look like the spruce ones, except they're just the different colors. So it's not the texture that I would have wanted, but it'll do just fine anyway. The idea is that I would put redstone here, back that up, put redstone there, back that up, put redstone here, feed this redstone line all the way out until I am underneath the edge, probably right around here maybe, and I might want to try and get it off to the side so it's centered better, something like that. Now the nice thing is I can run part of it underground right here and it'd be fine. Though I may want to do it a little deeper, otherwise I'm going to have to move these coral pieces here, which is fine. That'd be fine as well. But ultimately, I want to get it out here so that I can run it up there in a water elevator so that all of our drops get sent up there. Now, the one problem with this design, and it really, really is a problem, it instantly breaks the moment, you know, you do that. Then the redstone's going to pop off. Or if you do that, and then the water floods in. Now, you can close it, and the water floods away again. Goodbye, water. Up here as well. You really don't want any of these trapdoors opened, otherwise the redstone instantly is just goodbye. So I'm torn between going with this design, which will work so long as none of the trapdoors are opened, and just going back to the blocky design that I had before. And I'm really not sure which one to go for. I like the way this one looks, but I also feel it's a little bit more risky. I don't want people to come here, not know what's inside of these trapdoors, open it, be like, what's going on in here? And then all the redstone gets broken, because this redstone is what's going to keep this guy from obliterating basically everything. Now, another thing is that occurred to me is water reduces their blast damage, not against us, but against blocks. So even if he does have the ability to shoot his explosive-y bits, like if somehow the redstone here got damaged, because of where we are, sure, he could shoot out in some random direction and kill Endermen out there, or massacre the chorus plants. Sure, he could knock down this tower. I don't know if he could actually shoot way up there or not. And if I had this tower over here that's sending the items up there, if I surrounded it with, like, flowing water, like a waterfall type thing, would it damage that at all? I'm not sure. It might be worth just leaving it like this and, quote-unquote, taking our chances and just seeing what happens. Worst case scenario, he blows things up, we have to repair it, and, you know, life goes on. At least, like, everything in the water, even the coral, I believe, should be safe no matter what happens, I think. Of course, he's totally triggered on me right now, aren't you? Hi! Hi! Come on, shoot me! Shoot me! Hi. Yeah, you want to get me. You can't get me, though. Ha ha ha. Anyway, I think I'm going to go with this design just for now, and hopefully we don't regret that decision later. I think it just looks better, and I'm really trying to go for the aesthetics as much as I am the redstone. So what I would do here is I would grab a whole bunch of redstone dust. I'd come down here, get in here, and I'd have to crouch, but place our redstone. And place that, and that, a little bit more redstone. I'm going to need a repeater at some point. The signal needs to go that direction. So I would probably want, you know, we could probably switch to endstone at this point. Like this. And I need to waterlog those 2 blocks again. And then just feed the line down this way. That's going to be problematic. I guess I need more trapdoors on top. I think I need to figure out where I want to send it and run the trapdoors before I bother adding in all of the redstone. And this apparently is Vasten chunk loading when there's 10 people online. Holy cow. Hello? World? Hello? So I'm out here trying to get some saplings. I was told that I could pick up some saplings potentially here. I managed to find some saplings back at the Port Bray storage. Just trying to get a handful. I don't have any acacia. That's actually what I'm looking for, is acacia saplings. I don't even know where to go, but I certainly won't be able to figure out where to go if nobody loads. Hello? What is all those turtles doing? I think I've come to the conclusion that trapdoors aren't going to work, at least not all the way. And the reason for that is because the most compact method I could find to send a signal downwards, because we want to be able to turn the thing on and off from the very top, we need to therefore send the signal down, and I'm using this sticky piston here as an example, showing, I mean, it's basically just showing, yes, this redstone circuit is active, so, you know, I can flip this and it shuts off the piston. You can see that the redstone dust there is not lit up. However, the trapdoors, those are a little bit more problematic because trapdoors are sometimes fortunately, sometimes unfortunately, are triggered by redstone changes, which means that they continually turn on and off. Now, like this position here, I don't know if it would be the end of the world. I suspect that trapdoor being open would like alter the flow of water here. I guess we could test this. Let's see. Let's not do it over here. Let's come to this side. What happens? Actually, we don't even have to be in the water stream itself. What happens if I turn that? Does that do anything? Okay, it doesn't. It doesn't do anything to the water flow. Let's see, can we get up here? And it doesn't even let water in. See, that's the thing I'm concerned about. If we open these... Oops, I'm now placing them. That's not what I wanted to do. If we now open these, would it somehow make it possible for water to get in? And the problem with, obviously, with getting water in there is that you then have it disrupting your redstone circuitry and all that unfun stuff. Now, in this position here, that isn't necessarily a problem because the water would be just right next to a piston. No big deal, right? However, if we come up here and put it into the off position, suddenly this redstone dust there is exposed, this redstone dust here is exposed, and I don't want water to have any sort of way, like, chance to be able to flow in there. Now, I don't know if it would be a problem, but do we really want to risk it that much? We can see it's exposed. I suspect it's more like a gravity thing, so maybe going horizontal when it's flowing downward isn't quite the same as, like, over here. All of the water over here is a water source. With these flows here, it is only the one at the very, very top that is actually waterlogged. It's flowing downwards around the edges. Maybe that's where the difference is. But I don't know if it's feasible to fix that or not. So I'm wondering if maybe we do the trapdoors along here, make it look like a tunnel, a small tube that also keeps everything under the water completely. And then over here, when we do this huge tower, maybe we go ahead and make these full blocks. Just make them stone bricks or something like that. And it shouldn't make any difference to the shape of the water. And realistically, I mean, I don't know, maybe could we do glass? Maybe glass would be kind of cool. I always like I have a gamepad controller it's technically for an Xbox One. I don't even have an Xbox, but it's compatible with Windows, so I have it, and it is like the Afterglow edition. It's got clear plastic, so I can see all the gadgetry bits on the inside, and I think that's really cool. Being able to see the gadgetry bits is kind of cool, in my opinion anyway. So maybe if we just did glass, it would be fine. I'm assuming if he shot it, I mean, glass is very fragile. Hypothetically, the water would protect it, though. Though I guess I don't know that for sure because this is also under the water and he keeps popping those off, too. I'm just trying to figure out ways if he somehow randomly shot in this direction using water to reduce the explosion. So, on the Realm of Vasten server, we have access to barrier blocks, and I think that's what I'm going to go with, because the guy down there, he can't shoot through them. He can shoot his... Now, the black projectiles don't do damage except for, like, to really weak blocks, and the blue ones do have the ability to break really strong blocks. I think even obsidian. However, they are completely... like, pointless to use against barrier blocks. And since we have those available in the game, on the Vasten server, through the use of a command block, that means I think the best way to handle this dude is to simply put a box around anything that we don't want him to destroy. Now, yes, they do displace water, so we'll still have to use them kind of strategically to prevent it from looking weird, basically. But I think it's very doable. I think it's very doable, and I want to give it a shot. So... I think it's time to go back over to the real Realm of Vasten server. This is my creative testing world right here. And put this to use. Cut it out. I'm trying to do stuff here. Come back. Now you may be wondering why I decided to go with barrier blocks. Why couldn't I just repair any damage if and when it happens? Because that's what I'd originally been talking about. The whole witherproofing thing is all just in case he gets bored, you know, he runs out of Enderman to shoot at, or someone leaves the farm running and... I guess, I don't know, somehow make it so that he can freely shoot things and there aren't anything to shoot at, and then he gets bored and shoots out his purple one, or his blue ones. And the reason for that is, I guess I underestimated just how powerful the blue ones are. They actually can destroy end stone, which has a relatively high blast resistance, even when it's underwater. Now, of course, you're like, well, the tower will just repair any damage, the redstone or the item elevator will just repair any damage. I really don't want to have to put coral back out here again. I mean, I would rather not destroy this really nice looking aquarium. I don't want to come out here and find floating dead fish. Because he managed to somehow start blasting his blue guys all over the place. So I think that barrier blocks, for the sake of the aquarium, if nothing else, is pretty much the only way to go to ensure maximum protection. Of course, that isn't really a good solution if you're on a survival world where you don't have access to barrier blocks. But I think for our situation here, it's really the only practical solution. And since we do have barrier blocks available, quite a few of them in fact, I just went back over there and spammed the button a few times. I think this is just really the best way to do it. So what I'm gonna do, now he can only shoot in a direction that he can actually see. So I've put barrier blocks. The unfortunate thing is when you're in survival, even if you're holding a barrier block, you can't actually see it. Like, it doesn't light up with its little symbol. You can only see the outline of the blocks themselves. So I've wrapped it around. It's like a U shape going all the way around, and it's like 4 or 5, let's see, looks like that's 4 tall. I'm gonna put like a ceiling up there, and I might put something under here as well, because I don't want him to be able to shoot down here. Right now is filling in this section here, because he just needs to be able to see their heads, so they're gonna be standing in here, and I need to get rid of that water at some point as well. Maybe what I'll do, let's see, maybe if I just put a floor in here or something like that of barrier blocks, because he needs to be able to see their heads at this level, so having barrier blocks down here shouldn't make any difference to that. So right there, there, and then I'll use normal blocks. I actually don't have any normal blocks available. Hang on a second. End stone will do. Just get rid of those water sources. Goodbye, stupid water sources. Something like that. Now, yes, he could still damage the inner chamber right here, where our collection system will be, but that's the only damage he would be able to do, so we're able to, therefore, keep him really confined. Like, yes, he could still do damage, but it's much better than blowing up my aquarium that I have really put a lot of time and effort into. So, let's grab this stuff, and we're just gonna have to pop ourselves out here, I guess. Oopsies. There goes the water. So yeah, that should keep him focused in here. I'll need to climb on top and cap it off on top. And just in case he decides to shoot through and break this, I might put barrier blocks around the perimeter out here as well. Or I suppose we could even take the end stone out entirely just for like 5 blocks or so, and put barrier blocks there as well. That way you can even see right through inside and see all the Endermans as they're being slayed mercilessly. That might be kind of cool. It definitely would, honestly, it would look better than all the end stone. End stone looks dreadful. But yeah, let me work on this a little bit more now that I've got the barrier blocks. And now that I have barrier blocks, I don't even have to worry about him destroying the tower over here. So I can really design this however I want to, and I don't have to worry about like size or anything. I can make an actual tower just going straight up, out of stone or something like that. I don't know if it'd look like really great, based on sheer size, if nothing else, because that's a very tall tower. But it's totally doable now. I don't have to worry about this dude. Alright, I think it's time for a test. He should currently anyway, only be able to damage the 3x3 floor there, and I guess those, walls there as well. And if he gets a really lucky upwards angle, I suppose he might be able to damage some of the end stone there, but let's go ahead and see what happens. Let's turn on hitboxes so don't hit him. Do that. He should now be able to shoot off his blue projectiles if he chooses to. Is he tracking me? I don't think so. Hi. Ooh, hello. Shoot a blue one. Shoot a blue one. Come on. Can't believe I'm actually hoping for this. Yeah, I saw a blue one right there. Now, shooting the blue projectiles is very random, so even in a test, the odds of him shooting his blue one in this direction is relatively slim. He's currently just hitting the barrier blocks that are immediately around him. We don't want him really shooting the blue ones at all. The idea is for him to get all these guys in here. He shoots the blue ones when he gets bored, I believe. Which we don't want him to do. But if we just poke our head over here. Come on. Uh-oh. I don't want to be in there. I'm not the Enderman. Alright, shoot a black one. Ow. Yep. See? He could, well, he broke the torch I placed here. That was my way of knowing where the entrance was. So yes, it appears to work fine. Could he potentially do damage if he just happens to shoot a blue one in this specific direction and hits either the floor or somewhere up there? Yes, it's possible. It could happen. But realistically, I think we've pretty effectively witherproofed this area. I may have to take the barrier blocks a little bit higher. There's nothing we can do about down here because we're going to eventually turn this into the collection floor. I have to double check what the redstone like that is even going to be. I don't think, can things pick up things through barrier blocks? I don't think we can have a barrier block floor. I'm not sure that's really how it works. But relatively speaking, this damage versus all of this damage, this is much preferable. I'm pretty sure that this is the most witherproof idea you could realistically come up with, and still have it be functional. So I think that means that I can build a tower here. I can get rid of all of these trapdoors. I can get rid of the water and come up with an actual tower design. However, that's all I've got time for today. My recording schedule was thrown a little off this week, and so I wasn't able to get everything that I wanted to get done today. But there's always next time, right? So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the episode here, and hopefully in the next episode we'll be able to finish up the tower and decorate the area, and then get the endermite upstairs, get the storage system in place, or at least make a good head start on that. I know that's a lot of redstone bits that we'll have to work through. But yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get some more progress done next time. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope you keep on coming back for more. And until next time, I hope you have a fantastic time, and I will see you later. Bye!